is they'll come to the scene, tell the person that they got to move on, and they go down the next block, they lay down, and they go back to sleep. Time after time, year after year, day after day, after day after day, the same thing happens. The problem is we need to get busy quick. I'm afraid that Waikiki, wow. When I think of parts of my district, and when I first came to Oahu, it wasn't this bad. But now it's gotten bad and worse. I wonder what is going to happen now. What in the future is going to happen? How will this play out? What can we do? I'm not really sure. But what I do know is we have to move quick. If I sound urgent, if I sound that I need to speed things up, I do. Waikiki is the crown jewel of the Pacific. It is what we call a gem. And, you know, diamonds and gems are sparkling, they're shining, but with enough wear and tear, even a diamond will break. We don't want that to happen. Let me continue with some more photos. And this photo is going to be at Ala Park. And there are plenty of tents. You can see how it's evolving. If left alone, these small space, and I've seen it happen before, turns into 10, 15, 20 city blocks. Because when a few tents start, the people, homeless people, decide to move to that spot. And before you know it, more homeless people move, more homeless people move, more homeless people move. The worst that can happen is all their belongings get trashed, but that doesn't end homelessness. It sometimes is the beginning of the end, or the end of the beginning, because they get more tents and they're back in business. The city can't move all the homeless people out at one time. There's not enough space. Where will they go? Everyone wants to know, where will they go? And I want to know too, where will they go? If you chase them from Ala Moana Beach Park, they go to Waikiki. If you chase them to Waikiki, they go to the convention center. They go to the pavilion. They go to the bandstand. And they go down there by the zoo. And they move all around. Therefore, it's hard to get a count. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. There are approximately 14,000 homeless people in Hawaii. And again, 10,000 of them are children. And these are homeless children. By the way, I found out why they don't want to go to school, why they skip school. They go over to their friend's house, but the friend can't come to their house because their house is the park. What you don't want to be known as in school is a homeless kid. It's like being called a murderer or something. It's bad news. No one wants to be homeless, and the children suffer the most because Again, they have no place to take people that they want to entertain. When I was in school, when I was young, homelessness wasn't this bad. I would take friends to my house. They would take me to their house. And just a matter of sitting down with a video game that uses electricity, and we play games. Can't do that anymore. These children, it seems and it appears as if a lifetime they're homeless. And it may only go on for 10 years, but 10 years seems like 50 years. It's just that bad. Again, I'm going to say it again. The blame in Waikiki belongs to one person, the incumbent of the 12th Senatorial District. He is responsible for what happens in his district. He hasn't been responsible. He doesn't show up for session. He doesn't show up for his committees. More than 37 times, he hasn't shown up at all. It's okay if you're a member and the board chairman is somebody else and you don't show up, they do, and the board meeting continues to go on, or what we call hearings. By the way, let me give you a bit of a background there. I have my beginnings, and I have to pay tribute to public access room. That is where I basically got my start in politics, following the issues. This was 33 years ago. I would follow the issues. I would go down and get involved. That's how I got the urination and defecation bill. In December of 2003, we started on that bill. That is how I got that bill. I went down there and I went to the neighborhood board meetings, and I was able to persuade the people to have at least some place you could go downtown where the stench wasn't so bad. It was appalling, unsanitary, and unhealthy. Well, let's go with some more pictures. I'll be very honest with you. I really, they're depressed. And this picture here is of a child. A child. His clothes are filthy. Now, what does he do? Does he get up and go to school the next morning? Or does he skip? Because he doesn't have clean clothes and he's tired of getting teased. There's no holds barred in my discussion with you today. Appalling. There is another child. I'm not sure the expression on his face. Is he wondering, how did I get myself in this mess? Or is he looking at the incumbent and blaming him? I know a lot of people are, including myself. Let's go with some more pictures. This picture, there's a 2-year-old girl. It says homeless with a 2-year-old. My mom and dad worked 2 full-time jobs each to keep us away from things like this. The first thing they got paid was the rent, because we didn't want to wind up homeless. Homelessness day after day after day after day is a very sad occasion. Let there be no mistake. It is appalling. we're going to continue with some more photos. Children again. We got more photos to show too. We'll run this until the end. And we're going to end, as I said, where the beginning, we want the beginning to be, with ending homelessness. Can end up homeless in Hawaii like me too, is what that one says. Another baby. Homeless. It's like a scarlet letter. H. He's homeless. They're in a tent. What happens if it rains? There's more pictures of homelessness people. Sad. Very depressing, but necessary for my presentation. This little girl has a sign that says, "Please help." That's all she wants. Please help. Amazing. We got one more photo to show, and then we'll run until the end. Next one. And then we'll go through some more as they come up. We may very well be doing this to carry us out to the show. I don't want to go on after these photos show. And the reason is, I don't know what more to say. Thank you so much for watching, and pretty soon I'm going to say aloha. And we're going to try to get the homeless some help. Aloha. Thank you for joining me. Aloha.